And welcome back here to another edition of Recruit Spotlight on Husker Online. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, bringing you special spotlight interviews and the possible because of our sponsors here. Thanks again to Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, the title sponsors here of Recruit Spotlight on Husker Online. And Sip, we've had a lot of number one ranked players in their state. I've talked to a lot of number one ranked players over my years covering recruiting. I've never talked to the number one ranked player in Idaho.
Yeah, here we
but
are.
I'm excited to have the top ranked player in the state of Idaho here on Recruit Spotlight. Let's welcome in Gatlin Bair, the top ranked player in Idaho, a 4-star wide receiver. Sip, take it away.
Yeah, big time programs started coming after you this winter, right? Michigan, Oregon, Nebraska, Texas, Washington. They all came this winter, right?
Yeah, I had some over the summer.
Okay.
Last spring is kind of when it all started.
Okay, so now has that created a stir in Burley, Idaho?
Yeah, it's created a stir in the entire state, I'd say.
Has it really?
Yeah.
So you get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Where's Boise State fall into all of this?
Boise State's one of my top schools right now.
Is it?
I have a really good connection with all the coaches down there.
Okay.
Spent some pretty good time down there. They're one of the first schools to obviously reach out and stuff like that. So
I'm asking all the guys this that we've interviewed. Did you enjoy this process, this recruiting process?
It's definitely something. I guess it goes two ways. It's something that I really enjoy, and it's something that is very stressful at the same time.
Yeah.
You try not to stress about it. But I have my head coach, Cameron Anderson. He was at Gooding when Colson Loveland was there.
Okay.
So Colson Loveland's in Michigan right now, and so we're both at Burley now. And so he's done a really good job of helping me in the process. Good. And taking a lot of stress off me. So it's been really good. There's enjoyable times in the process, and there's stressful times in the process.
Sure, I understand.
And Gatlin Bair, as you're looking at his ranking, he is a industry 4-star, top 100 receiver. So all of the rankings combined in the On3 industry ranking, number 89 overall, number 1 in Idaho. When's the last? I mean, I don't know how well you follow Idaho recruiting, but have there been guys this highly ranked out of Idaho in a while?
So there's usually about one guy every year. Kenyon Sadiq was last year, and then Colson Loveland was the year before that. I'm actually, according to 247s, they did the ranking boost just the other day, and I'm the highest ranked recruit to ever come out of Idaho. So
you're 40th
I'll
on
be
247, and On3's got you 109.
Yep.
We still got Rivals. You must have not gone to. I used to work at Rivals way back. You must have not gone to a camp.
Yeah, I've never even really been evaluated by Rivals. So,
but there's some people that have you the highest rated player to ever come out of your state.
Yeah.
I mean, how's that? What is that? What goes through your mind when you hear that?
It's really just a blessing. It's hard to wrap your mind around it. Blessed and obviously trying to fill up or live up to that expectation.
You told the Omaha World Herald here recently, in speaking of Nebraska's program, you said this, Gatlin, there's just an energy about the program, a positive energy. What expand on that? What do you mean by that?
Just everybody in the program right now is really excited to get the program back to where it was, when they were dominating the, NCAA. That's kind of the energy. Everybody has that same mindset right now that's where they want to be. And everybody in the building is really excited to get back to that and putting their efforts into getting back there.
You feel that, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you said you're a guy that hasn't really probably been to a lot of national camps. I mean, how have you jumped out? Because it's not like there's a plethora of scouts.
So my background is track and field. So I didn't even really know that I was going to play college football until probably my freshman year, just because it's not really something as an Idaho high school football player that you even think about, just because there's nobody doing it. So I posted some pretty good times in the 100-meter and stuff
10.5.
Yep. And so that's kind of when it all started to take off, and the thing about an FAT 100 timing system is it doesn't matter where you're from. It is what it is.
Right.
So you can't argue with that. So that's really what
10.5 is 10.5.
Yep. Honestly, running a 10.5 in Idaho is a lot more difficult than running a 10.5 in Texas. Just, sunlight, weather,
wind,
stuff like that, competition level. So I mean, the fact that I ran that time is kind of what jumps off to.
What's the
a lot of
coldest meet you've run in?
coaches. So last year I ran a 10.46 the meet before, and then the next meet, I went to a meet and there was probably a 40-mile-an-hour headwind. I ran 11.2. That was
that's like running with a parachute. On your back.
Last week it was probably 37 degrees with a 10-mile-an-hour headwind, so it was probably close to 32 degrees.
You won't mind playing in the cold.
No.
Now here's what jumps out, Sean. I'll tell you what jumps out to some people on film. Deep ball. You like to fade, don't you?
Yep.
What'd you tell your coaches? Just throw the fade every series.
I joke with my coaches, my offensive coordinator all the time. I say, you have four throws, throw the fade ball 4 times. I'm going to come down with at least once every 4 throws.
You got first down.
First down or touchdown.
Yep. We're joined here on Recruit Spotlight by Gatlin Bair, arguably the highest ranked recruit ever to come out of the state of Idaho. Recruit Spotlight brought to you by Tanner Sports Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, 30th and Yankee Hill Road here in Lincoln. And we talked off air about this, but your recruiting timeline is going to be interesting, and you're openly honest to every school about this. And they're obviously still, nothing's really changed with your recruiting, but you're LDS by faith, and you will go on a mission. So you graduate high school in December, and kind of explain the timeline after that.
Yeah, so I just got invited to the Army All-American Bowl. So that's January 6th, I want to say. So my plan right now is to play in the All-American Bowl, and then next week I'll be headed on my mission. And then I'll come back probably sometime in December, December of 2025, 2026. And then that way I can do all the winter training and spring ball and hopefully play my freshman year.
What do you hear from coaches when you lay out that plan?
So it's actually been really surprising how acceptive the majority of coaches have been towards it. A lot of them have had experience with kids that have done that, and usually the experience with kids that do that is really good. I mean, you go on a mission, you're 2 years more matured, and they don't have to worry about you making dumb decisions, on campus, and you know how to live by yourself. You have all that stuff figured out. So when you get there, it's just school and ball.
And do you know, like, any idea where you'll go, or is that, when do they tell you where you go?
So you basically put in your papers like 3-4 months before, and then you just get a letter in the mail that says when and where you're going.
It could be like Australia.
Yep, the middle of Africa, wherever.
Or it could be your hometown.
It could be.
Yeah, I've heard guys that stay close to home.
I mean, I could end up in Salt Lake or Pocatello for all I know.
Yeah,
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska.
So we're talking a 6'2", 195 receiver with big speed, loves deep ball. What have you heard from Nebraska about what kind of offense they're going to run? That's what people really wonder around here.
From what talking to Coach McGuire and stuff, really they've said just a lot of pre-snap motion stuff, really kind of a positionless offense when it comes to skill position, getting, I guess the base of the offense would be getting matchups,
Sure.
Just getting, the best player, getting the right matchup against who they want to target, and then, motioning into that spot.
Are you going to watch practice tomorrow?
Yeah.
What will you watch for?
Really just how Coach McGuire coaches, really specifically, cues he uses, and just things like that make me know that that's a place that I want to be.
I'm curious. He's got to be one of the youngest coaches recruiting you. He's 23 years old. How much does that help maybe connect to a guy that's?
It's actually been really surprising. It's been really good. I really enjoy the fact that he's so young. It really does help you connect with him. I'm more open to a younger coach, honestly. Just they're learning with you as opposed to being set in their own ways.
Right.
I want to learn. If they're learning and I'm learning at the same time, you're always thinking and always, and he's young in the game too. So,
Sure.
I mean, he's really ambitious and really, really wants to get after it. So
Interesting.
What's next?
So I've got Texas relays next weekend.
Okay.
So I'll probably take a visit to Texas as well.
Is that where's Texas relays at?
It's Austin.
So yeah, perfect.
Yep.
And you plan to see Oregon too?
Yep. I'm going to probably go to Oregon relays. So I'll be in Oregon, April 21st, 22nd.
Okay.
So with your track times, it just kind of gets you invited to these different meets?
Yeah, I guess it's not really an invitation. It's something that I want to do because it's hard to get really great competition and really great weather and really great running conditions in Idaho. So it's hard to post fast times when you're running in Idaho. So I just want to get outside the state, and obviously it's a two birds with one stone sort of thing. Get some really great competition and go take some visits as well.
I'm interested in this. You're from a cold. You've mentioned playing in the cold, running in the cold. Does the Big Ten appeal to you in that regard, or is it? Do you look at the Big Ten in a certain way?
No, so football is different than track and field.
Okay.
Track and field is if I was running track and field. So my two older brothers are going to the South. My brother's at Mississippi State right now, and then I've got another brother that he's on a mission. He's going to go to Arkansas.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're both
For track.
Yeah, they're both decathletes.
Oh, really? They're
yeah.
decathletes.
Yep.
Older brothers, decathletes.
Yep. So they went to the South. Just it's such a big advantage being in the South. All the sunlight, all the dopamine, all the it's really just it's honestly an unfair advantage. So with football though, there can be an advantage to it, but the majority of football, you're usually indoors, and I don't think it's that big of a difference. So I'm not really opposed to playing in the Big Ten.
Okay.
Did you make it over to the morning workouts? I know some of the recruits went over. Did you?
No, so we didn't end up getting to the hotel till about 1. So
Yeah,
I figured I'd let my parents sleep in a little bit.
Well, hey, Gatlin, really appreciate you coming in and getting the chance to talk to you here, and looking forward to hearing more about your recruiting as the process moves.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
All right. We appreciate you a lot.
Thanks again to Gatlin Bair, the top-ranked player in Idaho, joining us here on Recruit Spotlight. Once again, Recruit Spotlight brought to you by Tanner Sports Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, 30th and Yankee Hill Road. For Steve Sipple, I'm Sean Callahan.